I came face to face with the most gorgeous cat that I have ever seen. Holding my halfway melted slush, our eyes met. I could hear my heartbeat clearer than I had ever heard it before. I was sharing this special moment with a male lion. He soon locked eyes on this big block of red ice. He stalked it and then began to pounce. After this, I soon found out that that block that the large cat was playing with was a special ice blood treat called enrichment. The experience is what drove me to study animals and their behavior. I am now a biology student and a zookeeper for the Oklahoma City Zoo. Upon further research, I discovered what enrichment is and why it is so important. Enrichment allows animals to demonstrate their species typical behavior. Gives them opportunity to exercise control or choice over their environment and enhances their well-being. Enrichment is just as essential to animal welfare as proper nutrition and veterinary care is. Not only was the lion receiving enrichment, so was I. The excitement I was feeling with the encounter I had had with my furry friend led me to ask questions and become curious about the zoo world. Zoos are not only enjoyed by the people that patron them, they are important to the animals that live in them. In this speech, I will share with you why we need zoos, what I have learned about zoos, how zoos have helped the animals while teaching you and I how important it is to enrich animal ambassadors' lives, keeping the different species here for many generations to come. The easiest thing to see that a zoo does is it connects people and animals. A zoo does this by housing animals in environments that are not only appealing to the public, but to the animals as well. The mission that a zoo chases is to provide an animal's comfort and excitement, like in the wild, while presenting these behaviors to guests as well. Animals are not placed in enclosures by coincidence. Many of them can be grouped in multiple classifications such as species, where they live, enrichment, or what they eat. This helps to facilitate learning among guests, keep animals with the same species that they would encounter in the wild. An example that I stumbled upon in the deer and coyote yards at the Oklahoma City Zoo is that they are placed by each other to encourage their natural behaviors that would display in the wild. They have educators that are positioned at the zoo to answer any questions and to point out things that many people would miss. Another way zoos connect people and wildlife by just being a zoo. Living in a poor Oklahoma family, I would have never been able to encounter this lion without the zoo. Having a zoo at my disposal let me experience looking into a lion's eyes without having to leave my hometown. If I had never seen this animal with my own eyes, would I not care as much as I do about them now? This is what zoos are trying to accomplish. Zoos bring the different species together, showing us why we need to preserve and save each and every species for our environmental health. Teaching this generation the importance of balancing human growth and animal needs so the knowledge that can be passed down from generation to generation. Another way zoos are helping animals is by saving them from extinction. The nonprofit Association of Zoos and Aquariums, otherwise known as AZA, has accredited 214 facilities in 45 U.S. states. They have created population plans for over 500 species for the next 100 years. And the zoos that they accredit are crucial to these plans. These facilities are creating a whole new world for generations to come. About 41% of all amphibian species and 26% of all mammals are now threatened with the extinction, and fully half of the world's primates, our closest relatives, teeter at the edge of existence. And we face the loss of 1 in 8 of all bird species. How sad is that? This is a great problem that zoos are combating for us and our animal friends. Not many people realize this, but the majority of zoos' animals that are in captivity are in these programs. Scientific research helps this process along as well. A big advantage to having these animals in captivity is being able to study their behavior in a controlled setting that allows us to study the relationships that animals have with different factors that they are contributing to their success and failure in the wild. Zoos are not only bringing animals farther away from extinction, they are giving animals a second chance at life as well. Zoos are using breeding programs to help repopulate endangered animals, and they are giving rehabilitated animals a second chance as well. Animals like the American bald eagle are not approved to be held in captivity unless they cannot survive in the wild. The two eagles that the Oklahoma City Zoo call home are a perfect example of this work put to action. Gussie and Star are both missing substantial parts of their wings. One was hunted and shot by a poacher, while the other was hit by a semi-truck. Due to their injuries, they cannot fly and will not be able to survive out in the wild. They have become species ambassadors, just like all of their fellow rehab animals that call zoos across the U.S. home. If not for programs like these birds, like Gussie and Star, would either die in the wild or sadly be euthanized. Just like a lion, you love enrichment as much as he does. We go to the zoo for a fun, pure enjoyment of our time, but we come out with so much more. We learn more than we could ever imagine in such a short time. We support the growth of our world and the supporting and injured that are helping to facilitate our learning. Zoos create success for everyone who encounters them. This is our enrichment.